cash.
And then the other problem is, how do you really even know which direction to go or what to even report or how to articulate it if you understand what's going on? But it's so many different players, and it's such organized, sophisticated crime, racketeering, money laundering, just RICO Act shit. How do you even...
You have to make it logical and organized, otherwise they're not going to take you seriously.
I know, and that's what I've been trying to do. And so everyone can say that my salon drives me crazy or whatever, and I should just give it up and move or whatever. No, that's what work is. I'm a workaholic. That's what's always kept me sane. What's making me insane over here is all these people and how I'm trying to connect the dots because they're all connected and they're all dirty.
I know, but so I think the best thing for you is to focus on your work, and that's why we're saying maybe a different location where you're not with these people, so you don't have to worry about
it's them. It's not going to help. I already know. I already know that once you're gang stalked, you're freaking blacklisted, and it's not going to help if I move. These people are spread out. They are everywhere.
Yeah, but why specifically you?
That's what I've been asking myself also. Maybe because I'm an easy target. I'm kind of an open book. I'm a hairdresser, so I...
But why would they want to harass somebody that is on top of them all the time?
Because the best place to hide is in plain sight, Jessica.
I think
Don't you know that?
Moved into the salon, and by halves, Jared's laundering that money.
That's why Sylvia came to me first and said that she goes, girl, I see these men out here stalking you. She was telling me that. These people play this game all the time with me. They tell you something so that you don't look at them for it. You know what I mean? It's like your friend will steal a shirt from you, but then she'll give you a gift just so you don't think that she'd steal from you.
So Francisco told me he does fire suppression systems. He told me it was broken. I should fix it. I said, I can't do that. I'm not a licensed contractor to do that. He's all, well, you need to tell Jared.
What is he doing?
So I believe they're forging this stuff because I have pictures of the tags downstairs where he told me that are different now. Mm-hmm. And I called the place and they said they don't have record of work at this
So I think you guys are arguing down here at the stairs. I think that's what's going on down here. This is about that time where it's in
because they know that they're freaking stalking me.
Here, right?
When they come to clean at night, they break into my business, they hack into my shit, they freaking go through my papers and my shit and steal my identity. That's what they're doing at night there, and that's why they don't want me there. And I'm calling them out, and they don't like it. Too bad they can't write like real attorneys because it's obvious to spot the fake shit that they fucking make. They can't even punctuate or fucking have right grammar. No correct spelling. I'm like, don't you guys have spell check? It's kind of pathetic. I think they leave spaces on purpose so that they can change it for the future. Denying whatever I'm saying.
So
I wish I knew what I was saying.
I think you're saying no.
Well, yeah, I'm saying no because they're obviously denying whatever I'm saying.
So I want you to pay attention to this. C1.
She's just hugging.
She smacked the crap out of you.
And
that's
just that.
It's not your decision.
Get rid of your business. It's just to move.
It just seems like some sort of like
it's to help you.
Hidden agenda, you know? Tell me that.
Why do you want to be around these people then?
On a TV show. Enduring because you don't.
I think I blocked a lot of them. Come on.
And that could be an elevated assault.
This same group of people is the same group of people that lured me to California and told me that I was going to be on a TV show, a court TV show that didn't exist, and they were going to either kidnap me, traffic me. I'm not really sure, but I barely got away. So that's where all this is stemming from.
So why do you want to be around these people then?
I don't want to be around them. I'm just connecting all these dots.
Don't be mad if we suggest that.
It's not that I'm mad
You're
that
not
just
the
yours.
first person.
Everybody around that thinks that they know something about my life wants to tell me that same shit, and it pisses me off. It's like, who are you to tell me that I should get rid of my business or whatever? Like, it's not really
It's not
your
to
decision.
Get rid of your business. It's just
to
to move.
It just seems like some sort of like
It's to help you.
hidden
because this is a
agenda,
lot.
you know? Like, a lot of people know each other, and people have been trying to get me out of that
But
space
you
for a
don't remember
while.
a bunch of this happening.
No, I do.
Okay.
No, I totally remember it. I wasn't blacked out.
No, I don't. You weren't blacked out, but sometimes we only remember the things we want to, and that's not
Well,
okay. You know.
It's not, and I'm not a violent person, to be honest with you. I'm really not.
I understand
Like-
that, Jessica. The whole
know.
thing
I'm
is
just
that
saying.
she is literally having a fit. Like, if you would have seen her at the house, she wasn't violent towards me. She just, like,
I understand.
turned into this
and
person that was scared.
we would have to get medical reports to back that up. Otherwise, a jury will not believe that. I'm telling you now.
There's a police report, I think. I told the police officer what happened when Danny and I'd come home.
I know, but that doesn't help you. That doesn't help her though.
What I'm saying is that she has medical records 2 years prior, and then I corroborate with when Danny was taking advantage of her and what was happening.
But we need to establish that she has these blackouts, and that's going to be the biggest problem that we have. Obviously, if she doesn't remember what's going on, you would go to the doctor, say, "Hey, this event."
The trauma, the way it's kind of transpired or whatever you want to say, like, it's all started with a lot of like disassociation. You know what I mean? Like, where it's like you feel like you're not really, like, it's almost like you're in a dream in a way. You know what I mean? Like, you're just like, don't really feel like you're living your life in a sense. You're like detached
I understand.
from
That's
reality.
why you need some help with that, because you can't deal with PTSD all by yourself. It's impossible.
Well, how are you supposed to get help when you're freaking isolated because people are stalking you and harassing you all the time?
You have to go to the doctors, talk to them. They're the professionals. That's what they're there for.
Drag us so
I'm
late.
like desperate for answers at this point. Like, these people are lying to my face, lying through their teeth.
I
Like,
understand, but that's what I'm saying is that even though this is all happening, it's not a defense to
So-
harming them.
can we still please get Raul to translate what they're saying in Spanish?
If it's
Yes.
from this specific
Yes.
incident,
Yes,
then
from-
okay,
from
then
the
I
videos.
need those from
Okay.
you in order to get them to him. Then we'll take a look at it, but the problem is we can't use it because, as I said,
Well, and what
So-
I'm saying is, if we give them to you, are you going to give them to the DA and then they're going to convict her of a bunch more?
I'm not. I don't give stuff to the DA to convict my clients. If you have something that we need to take a look at, then we'll take a look at it. But the problem is we can't use it because, as I said, a new crime. And so that's why I have to let you know that because I
But-
don't want you
but-
to get in trouble.
It's
So-
technically public.
Hold on, let me
It
ask you
doesn't
a
matter if it's
question.
in public if you
Area.
if you don't let people know that you're recording them, even if it's in a public place, if they think there's privacy, then it's one party recording. And Oregon, it's required 2-party state
So how come they can use the video out front?
because it's obvious that they're recording.
She didn't know.
Well, because she's in a blacked out state. She trust me.
You
I'm just confused about that.
You're
I know.
saying she's blacked out, but you have to prove that.
I'm always
No, but I'm
obviously
saying-
recording. Everyone knows that I record, and
It
I have
doesn't
signs
matter.
up. And I have signs up at my
in
business
your
that
own
say that.
space, then yes, that's fine.
I'm actually
I
responsible.
guess what I'm
Technically,
saying
I'm
is-
responsible of the sidewalk in front of my business as well.
I guess what I'm saying
It's
is there's no
public
proof
area.
that she's blacked out, so you couldn't even use that in court and say
No,
that she's
you
blacked
can't
out.
because it's public. Everybody's there, and it's obvious that they have
It
the phone and
states
recording.
it states in my lease that I am, even though it's I know a public sidewalk, I am
for the
responsible
cleaning of it.
for that area. So why can't I use video footage or recording footage from my area?
I'm just letting you know that it's a single party consent state. If you record somebody and you don't tell them you're recording, it can be.
You just said it was a
considered
2-party.
crime.
Is it single
No,
party
that's
or
what I'm saying.
video footage or recording footage from my area?
I'm just letting you know that it's a single party consent state. If you record somebody and you don't tell them you're recording, it can be.
You just said it was a
considered
2-party.
crime.
Is it single
No,
party
that's
or
what I'm saying. If only one person knows that there's a recording going on, then that's a problem. Both.
But that's
people
why we have
to
signs
know.
up.
I know. In your specific space, that's fine because you have notice. But other than that, if it's anywhere else, then you have to let them know.
So what I'm saying is, she didn't know. Nobody else out there knew that this kid was recording.
Besides, 161 is part of my space too. I just don't understand. I lease part of 161 and 163. And I'm responsible for the sidewalk in front of it.
So, do you understand what I'm saying though, with the other person recording?
Yes, but it's obvious that they have the phone in their hand and they're recording.
Not obvious. How is that
to
obvious?
who?
Well, because everybody's there in the middle of everything, and so yes, it can be used.
Could we do a motion to suppress evidence in that regard?
It's not going to help you. Once they look at this, you're done. You're absolutely done, and I'm trying to help you.
I understand all that. I'm just trying to understand your logic
Because
behind everything. I'm not trying to insult
I
you.
understand. Once they look at this, there's going to be 4 or 5 new charges. And that's why if you settle it now, it negates that. They can't bring that stuff up.
And then I can expose all their fucking fraud bullshit. And it doesn't matter.
Are you a civil attorney?
No.
Do you know someone who is?
No, this is pretty criminal.
Town.
That doesn't even matter. This is very criminal.
Out of town.
Well,
Extremely criminal.
You can Google anybody.
I know, but do you know any civil attorneys that deal with this kind of stuff we're talking about out of town?
I don't.
Or landlord, tenant, or anyone that does commercial, or anyone that does any sort of organized crime.
Help you get to the certain people. They have registries of what people practice.
Yeah, it's.
We're just trying to ask
No, I
you
know.
because
I've looked it
And
up.
I only practice criminal misdemeanors. That's all I do right now. So I don't do any of the more complicated, sophisticated stuff. This is just the stuff that I do. And this is what I'm contracted for.
Where'd you go to law school?
Willamette.
Oh. You know Tony,
Perez.
I have no idea who that is.
the janitor, the cleaner?
What about Mark Stewart? He's a psychology teacher.
I don't know everybody. I only went to law school there. I'm not even from Oregon,
Where are you from?
California.
Like Southern California?
Mhm.
What part?
Places?
Like Santa Monica area?
No.
San Jose area?
I don't give away personal information of clients. Sorry.
Find it on the internet anyways.
Go ahead. I don't care.
They're so protective of that garbage. Because they got all their fraud documents in there.
Anyway, this is the second to last piece. And then we'll look at the other video then.
So is your family attorney? Like, is that how you got into law school?
No. Just want to be an attorney.
I was just curious because if they were, they might know someone in California.
No, I don't know anybody down there. I got into.
I mean, this could make you potentially famous.
I'm not interested in that. I'm just.
It's not all it's cracked up to be.
I'm interested in helping people, and that's.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah, but I mean, this is not my wheelhouse, and so that's why it's not something I can help with. It's not the stuff.
That's why I've been freaking going at this alone. I'm freaking.
I mean, you can find attorneys to help you, but you have to. I don't know one.
I know
Let me
my
ask you
case.
another question. Who do you think is the most upright attorney in town?
I couldn't tell you. I haven't been here very long.
Do you have
I've
many
used
friends
Chris
in town?
Casebeer for tons of stuff.
I mean, it just depends what kind of attorney are you looking for.
The civil and the criminal
But
mix.
so.
But okay, so
civil is very
it's
broad. I'll tell you that. There's a
it's-
lot of things that are considered civil.
so like harassment, retaliation, coercion,
So that's
discrimination.
That's more small claim stuff, probably.
But that's just one piece of it. Then there's the fraud and the freaking.
and that's all
the
DA
long
stuff.
list
That's
of fraud.
nothing that you can do privately. Criminal stuff is all handled through the state.
So what's the best way to present the state with all of my evidence? Because I've been trying to write it all out, get all the ordinances and that apply, and put them in a list.
Well, if
get
the
all
state's
get all the
involved-
suspects, put them in a list, connect them all on a little graph thing or a little whatever you call
She's
it.
saying if the state's involved, there's nothing you can do unless you go federal.
So the biggest problem you're gonna have is that you're gonna have to be very linear, and that's one of the problems that I've been having. Is it's hard because it's not very linear.
What do you mean by that?
So a lot of the frauds that you've been talking about and how
It's
people
like-
are connected, and that's why I've been trying to explain. Okay, how do you know they're connected? And you say
I can
talk to
explain it
people,
all.
talk to people, talk to
I can
people, talk to
explain it
people,
all. It would
but-
just take me a while, and you wouldn't still probably get it because
and
you
so
gotta.
it needs to be probably something on paper.
Right.
The only people you can go to are police. Because they're the only ones who take the reports. Those are sent to the district attorney. Then the district attorney decides from there whether they just want to prove a case or not.
Or kill us.
I'm not gonna kill you. But it's well, I mean them personally.
Wasn't there some sort of a program
just
that
scared
attorneys
because April's
use
dead.
kind of to do that sort of investigative process, like where it's like a graph where you've got your main, ringleader, and then you've got the people coming off of
It's
it
not
kind of
like
thing?
TV.
You know what I mean?
I know, but it's
No, not like
I
TV.
know.
I've looked it up. There's programs
I'm
that
sure,
I've looked
but it's
into,
not,
but
I
didn't
those
know
are
if
more
you guys-
federal cases. That's not something similar to state at all. So that's a completely different level of jurisdiction.
It's already federal if it's on the internet.
well, I know that it's federal,
Across the
but
state
I
lines.
just, it's just that
I know
it's
it's a lot.
it's a big can of worms
Okay,
that I
so
was not
this is
expecting
that-
to
that
stumble
video
upon.
from the street, and so
Didn't know I was right underneath it.
Fucking lock me up, fucking son of a bitches. Yeah, fuck you. Oh, you guys only make it easier, fucking lock me up.
Hey, get off my truck.
Hey, it's okay. Get off the truck. No.
I have a trigger with license plates because of all the freaking shady license plates around town.
You motherfuckers.
but it doesn't mean that you can do that.
I'm not saying that I can. I'm just
So
saying
that one's
So
pretty
hold
long
on.
right there.
Where's Sylvia or
She's
Sonia?
back here, and so you'll watch. She's gonna run around and come get her.
And where's Daisy?
You'll see her in a little bit. She'll run up.
I'm like, you're on my fucking team. You're not on
We
my
have
team.
nothing to do
Fuck you,
with it.
bitch. Shut your fucking face.
And so she's running.
Is that John yelling at me?
No, he's yelling
Wait a
at
second.
them. So there she is.
Who is John
She
yelling
grabs
at?
her and wrestles with
Let go of my
her.
mother.
Who is John yelling
She's
at
trying
right
to get her
there?
off,
Hey, come on.
and so they're trying to get her off.
Come on, let go of each other.
So you're on the ground now.
With Daisy?
So there she is. That's her trying to hit her off.
Let go.
She's
That's
choking her.
Daisy. No, she's not choking. She's just grabbing her. And so now she's on the ground. She's already there. She's sitting.
She's
She'll-
calm. See, that's assault.
Well, the problem is the angle. She's not low enough to hit her
Like
in the face.
4
She's
people?
trying to hit her on the arm.
I got like 4 people above me.
I know. They're trying to.
There was
So you had
another.
already
There was another
attacked
frame
her.
you showed us.
This is the only one that I have.
Well, then rewind that for a minute, please. I want to see where John's holding down.
I'm so angry. These people have been breaking into my freaking salon.
Next to the truck. I don't need to see this. I'm sorry.
Fuck you. You lie.
Where?
You fucking
There's another.
Oh, by
view.
the way.
Hold on.
Hey, let go of my mother.
you lie, bitch.
There's another view where you see her walk around and start smacking her.
Come
Like,
on, let go of each other.
No, I know. So this is where
Let go of each other.
she comes up. So she's trying to get her off.
Let go.
Let go. Hey.
Let go.
Hey.
see, John says stop.
I know.
Liar.
Stop.
Let go. Okay, stop.
See, and then she
I know,
keeps
but-
going.
I know.
She was not in imminent danger.
I
Her mother.
understand. But we can't make them.
And John's
We can't
breaking
make
it off.
them prosecute her.
Who's that guy?
Look, mom's all getting her hip.
Who is that guy?
Who this guy?
No.
I don't know.
That's that girl.
It could be
Is that
whoever
that
drove
chick?
her.
The chick
I don't
from
know.
the school. She knows sign language. She went to school with her. That's her. That's the other girl that was there. Somewhere.
Hold on a second. Can't see. Sorry. There's a glare.
Can't even fucking clean this building, you fucking.
Oh my god, that was terrible. How embarrassing.
Babe, so Daisy made your eye like that.
No,
Oh my
no,
God,
That was
yes.
Sylvia.
Watch.
No, it's not her. So Sylvia's grabbing onto her face. She's already bloody by the time Daisy gets there.
No.
Yes.
Come on. Come on, let go of each other.
Let go of each other.
Bitch, let go. I'm taking you right now. Let go.
Let go.
Let go.
Suéltala más.
Hey,
Déjala.
hey.
Liar.
Let go of my nose,
Hey,
bitch.
hey,
Let go.
hey,
Let
liar.
go. Let go.
You guys are liars.
Stop. Let go. Okay.
She was let go.
Let
I don't
What
know
are
if
they
Whitney's
doing?
grabbing.
There's
well,
a-
but Whitney could be grabbing onto her. I don't
There's
know.
another view you showed us where
This is
he's
the only
where
one
he's
I
holding
have.
her down.
Well, that's from the license plate.
The first video
The
that
first
you
video
showed
you
us.
showed us.
This is the only one I showed you.
No.
No, it's not.
I'm telling you, this is the only one I
No,
have.
it's not.
Yes, it is.
No,
I'm
it's not.
absolutely 100% certain this is the only one I have.
I'm 100% certain.
Well, that's nice, but it's not true. I remember
Whose
because I
side
did.
are you on,
I'm
Jessica?
on your side. I'm trying
But
to help you,
I
but
know
I'm
we
trying to
I'm not
understand.
tripping, dude.
Yes, you are because I'm telling you, you're calling me a liar.
Jessica,
I believe
You
I
just
saw
did.
you
something
just said you're
different.
100% certain,
Yes.
and I know that the
And I'm
video
100%
that you
certain.
showed
I
us.
also gave you all the discovery, and you called
You
me
did
a
not
liar
get.
in court.
You did
Yes,
not.
I did.
You
because
did
I
not give me the
personally handed
discovery,
it to
and you showed me a different video.
No, this is the only video besides the surveillance footage that I've ever had. And I'm telling you 100%. And you may
Okay.
have forgotten because it's been a while,
That's
but I'm
funny.
telling you this is all I have.
You know what's funny about that?
What's funny about
is
that?
that when I had Ronald Hellowell as an attorney, he
Good
did the
for him.
same thing to me, where
This
he
is
gave me
all I
video
have.
footage
Okay,
and then
stop.
took
Whitney.
it away.
This is
Whitney.
all I have. I've given it to you. It's
Okay,
So let's see the
only
ending.
other-
Let's
the only
see the
other
ending.
possibility would be
Let's
the
see
girl
the ending.
witness if she has a video clip because she said she was filming it.
How
all
could you
too.
not
If
remember
there's
me
another
getting
video,
punched in the
then great.
face?
I just showed it to you. You weren't being hit in the face. She couldn't reach down far enough. This is the only one.
Fuck you guys.
Hey.
does
Sylvia
not
was
look the
grabbing
same.
onto your face because you were already grabbing onto her. That's
It does
where
not
it
look the
happened.
same as
This
that
is
other
video.
literally
I'd
the
like-
only one I've ever had.
I don't mean to disrespect you, but I do remember seeing a different video.
This
so
is the-
I hear you. I hear you.
This
I
is
hear
the
you.
only
I'm
one
just
I
saying
have.
what I want to say
I
because
understand.
I see
and
it
I'm going to show
different.
you maybe what you're thinking about, which
Okay.
is the license plate, because that's
No,
where he's
no.
holding
No,
her
it's not the
down.
license plate. It's a different one.
Is that where he's holding her
the
down?
view?
Yes.
The view is like on top of us, and then she comes from this way
Yeah.
and then punches me
You
in the
barely
face.
see
And I was
Sylvia's
trying
head.
to explain it to you. That's not. There's no footage of that. This is the only one I've ever had.
So it's been redacted. Once
No,
again.
there's no redaction.
No, there's a different
I'm telling
footage.
you-
Two footages.
No, there isn't. This is the only one I have, and if you don't believe me, that's fine. But
So,
this is the only one
okay.
that there has ever been.
I'm not trying to argue. I'm just trying to say I remember something different. She remembers
I
something different, and
understand
you're
that.
saying there's something different. So there's a discrepancy of sorts. So
The only
easiest
discrepancy
way
is you
to
don't remember.
listen.
I'm not.
Jessica,
I'm not blacking
please.
out
I
here.
have
I'm not
no-
crazy.
What reason do I have to lie to you?
You don't work.
reason
You
do
don't
I
really
have?
work for me. You
Yes,
work
I
for the
do.
freaking.
Okay,
Well,
stop.
I
You
work
work
for
for
the
the.
state.
Yeah,
So yes,
exactly.
you're more than welcome to get your own
So
attorney, and they'll
it's-
show you the
I'm
exact
just-
same thing.
I'm just another freaking.
I guess the only way I
Person
can
with
resolve
charges
this
to
is,
you.
do the police have the footages of
This
this?
is the only footage that they have.
What was the video that you showed us the first time?
This one.
It was a very short clip, though.
She's not
This
going to change what
one.
she's
But it was a
saying.
very short clip. Do you remember the timestamp?
I
on the
don't-
clip.
This one. This
I know,
is
but
the
you showed
only
me a very
video.
specific portion of it. You showed me the worst part of the video.
The only worst part of the video
Is me getting punched in the face.
Yeah.
He's holding her
No,
down, though.
It's here where you're grabbing her.
Can we play it in
No.
slow motion? Slow it
I
down.
don't know if there's a slow mo, but
See,
so
I'm constantly
you're
just
grabbing
people
her.
just gaslight me left and
She's
right.
grabbing your face.
No, and then there's a point where he pins me down.
He's not pinning you down.
Let go.
It was a
They're
different
trying
angle.
to separate you.
It's a different. It's an angle. It's an angle from above.
Yeah, someone was standing
Then
behind.
it's some other person's video because this is the only one I've ever physically had in my possession.
Really?
Ever. Absolutely. 1,000,000%. I would not. Why? What do I have to gain?
I am not
What do
tripping,
I
dude.
have to gain? No, tell
Just
me.
because,
Tell me. What do I
just
have to gain to
because
lie to
I'm
you?
sitting here telling you that I blacked out in that moment does not mean that I black
I
out,
don't
that
really
I'm
think you have
tripping,
anything
that
to
I'm
gain.
delusional.
What do I have to gain from lying
Same
to
here.
you?
Same here.
Stop. I honestly
You
don't
don't
think you
work
have
for me.
anything
You
to
work
gain.
for the state. You have a reputation and whatever you're trying to prove. I'm just another person with
I don't
charges to
care.
you. You don't really care about me. I'm just another number.
I care about
Okay.
you. Why do you think I'm trying to tell you?
She doesn't
if
want you to get
take
more
this
charges.
to trial, you are going to lose, and you are not going to see him
How
for
is
a
this-
very long time.
How is that video just disappear? It's
There
a different
isn't
angle.
one. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
It was a different angle.
There
Okay,
isn't.
stop. She says one thing, you say another. And there's no way to
This is
resolve
all
it.
I've ever gotten from the state. I have no other way to get video from anybody else because it doesn't exist.
Okay, let's see if it's on the
If
rest
there
of this
is,
then.
please give it to me.
Okay.
I would do anything to
Just
get
like-
somewhere else.
I will do
Just
some
like the
research.
video of
That
the
other
freaking
girl.
cop sexually harassing me didn't exist. That's right.
If I had something else, I would show it to you. What do I
You
have
did, or
to
you already did.
gain?
She's actually having
What do I
PTSD
have
right
to
now,
gain?
and I'll tell you why.
That's why I freaked out last time because you showed me that video. I would
Okay,
never
calm
forget
down.
that.
Just
That
calm
is
down.
this one.
Let me tell her why. Paul Furter did a similar thing. Not saying you're doing that, but it seems that way to her. Where he said there's no video. I've searched for it. She just found the video footage the other day on her computer.
it exists.
It was
Okay.
so-called redacted.
So I haven't done anything to any of these videos because
Okay.
there's nothing in here that I needed to redact. I told you I needed to look at it first because if there's any
Okay.
personal information in there, I have to redact it. So I looked, there isn't. So I gave you all the
Okay.
footage I have.
And that's
Every
that.
single piece of it.
I can do some research and try to find the other piece that we think's
It
missing.
might be
Okay,
on
so
here and
It's
we haven't
not
seen it
in
or
these
something.
specific videos. If it's somebody else's video that somebody else took, because you said somebody else might have been there, said maybe they took a video, maybe that's what you're thinking of.
Yeah.
I swear to you, I do not have anything else.
Okay.
There's nothing. What do I? Please tell me what do I have to? Gain
I'm
from
just,
live-
I know what I
Respectfully.
saw. I was very like traumatized that you just showed me that one little clip, like when we came
I
in.
remember us
and
going back through these small pieces.
I remember it very vividly.
This is the video. There was nothing else for me to play. 'cause
Well, that's what I'm
all I
saying. It's,
had.
if it's in here,
These are
then
the
it's in
only
here. But it was a
ones.
different angle than what we've been shown so far.
This is it. So this is you. You're on the ground. They're trying to separate you. So
So,
there's you on the ground. There's her, and he's here trying to. stop
okay, I
you.
understand.
Do you
all
know
that.
Jared Hambrook?
I don't know who that is. Who is it?
Do you know Bo Rushing?
No, who is that? I don't know who these people. Who were you talking about? How are they related?
Jared's her landlord.
No, I
He's the
don't.
one that provided the video footage.
No, I don't know who this person is.
Okay.
And this isn't
To be
Jared's
honest
video.
with you, I also recall seeing it from a different view because what I saw was John holding her down with his arms or his hands on her arms, and then she walked around John, stepped around, and punched her.
It was
Yeah,
an angle.
she-
It was an angle from like over here.
From this side.
From what?
From it would be more from on this side.
Yeah, no, this is, I'm telling you, this is all
Okay.
that I have.
So
And
that's all you have.
let's-
That's all we can believe.
We didn't
let me-
dream
let me
this.
show-
So.
look. So it's, the video's gonna come around this way, so maybe that's what you're thinking. So he's coming around on this side.
Okay. Play.
And so she's on the ground, but I think what happened
There's
here,
another piece.
I know. So what I think happened here is Whitney is still grabbing onto the other girl, and that's why she starts hitting her. She's saying, let go, to Whitney.
But
And
I believe
so-
there's a second part, like where he's still holding her down and she
Yeah,
steps back
no.
There
So-
is.
This
You
is-
showed it to us.
in. That's never gonna change.
I'm telling you, this is literally the only video
Okay.
I've ever had. Why would I? What's the point of me redacting it? and
Well,
not
it's
getting
just
it
strange to
you?
me that literally, like every freaking.
I'm telling you,
Attorney.
Everybody remembers things from their own mind.
Him and I
maybe
are
they
apparently
don't,
remembering it the same though.
but they may not. He wasn't there.
Watching the video?
No, when we watch the video
Yeah.
here. I do remember it different. And I'm not trying to
I understand,
disrespect
but-
you. I'm just saying I see it different. I understand what you're saying.
But what do
So
I have to gain?
I don't want to tell you.
I don't know what
the game.
secret little dealings or associations
That's
you
just
have.
a trigger for me
Well, at
saying
this
that
town,
shit.
obviously, you know, I've uncovered this town is very connected.
And that's fine. Why wouldn't I not want that to come to light? If that's really what's happening, good.
Well, then
good.
help us.
Especially weird
I
after.
can't do anything,
It's especially weird after. It's apparently not
She's
here.
wi-
After
she's
in
willing
court,
to
I
take
bring
the
it up.
bargain.
In court, I bring it up. So then I do look crazy.
What do you
Wow.
What do you mean?
Like I brought that up in court.
I brought what up in court?
And so now, the judge is sitting there, just warning you, anything that you say can be used against
That's
you. Be
her
careful what you
job.
say, blah, 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 blah.
That's her job.
Well, what's funny is I bring up that video, that exact clip and that exact scene that I'm talking about. I mentioned that in court. So then now what? That video doesn't exist and then I'm just written off as delusional?
I'm telling you, you remember
That's
it differently.
literally like going along with the plan of the
I'm
fucking
trying to-
DOJ and
I'm
Salem
trying
Police.
to show
That's
you.
beautiful.
These are the clips that we were going back and forth on. I'm telling you, this is the only stuff that I've ever.
What
had.
made you pick that one specific clip to show it to me, by the way?
No, we didn't. We watched the whole thing.
You
and you
said
wanted to look at it over and over again.
No, what you told us
No.
was this, I couldn't get all the video to play. And
You
this is
showed
what I
That
got.
was-
one
no.
little small clip, and it was like the worst part.
Oh, let me rewind.
Okay.
What I was telling you is I only could open certain clips of the surveillance footage, the stuff that we just went through before this one.
And that definitely wasn't surveillance
Hold
footage
on.
you showed us.
The
Right.
ones in the hallway?
Nope.
Right here. You showed
No,
us this.
I know.
The
Hold
first
on.
time.
I know. Hold on. This is the only one I could open, and I said, hey, I also have surveillance footage. I can only open one of every 5 of them because the program isn't
Right.
working. And I said, so let me make sure I can get through it so I can get it to you, and let me make sure there's nothing on there that I have to redact. That's what I said. This is the one I showed you because it's the only one I could open because it wasn't the same format.
I guess
So
we
out of
see
all
it
that
different.
footage, it just so happens that the one piece of footage that you could get to work that you
This
did show me
is
that day was
it.
the worst part of it. All that just so
No, we
happens
watched
to
this
be.
whole video. This
we're
is
not
the
sure.
only video,
I'm gonna
the
watch
whole thing.
What I'm gonna do is watch this stuff, and I'm gonna do some research on my own, investigation
Well,
work if it's not
if-
illegal.
If you know somebody with video footage,
That's
I
what I
need
think
their
I know.
name and number, and I will have Raul go get it. That's
Okay.
his job. I just need the information because if I don't have the information, he can't go get it.
Okay, I will do some research and find their name and
Okay,
number.
that's perfect.
Because that's
all
what I
need.
believe is missing.
Yes. Okay. And if there is, great. I would love to look at it. Unfortunately, at this point, even with additional footage, it doesn't help you defend your case.
Okay, I'm not even worried about that. I probably am going to take the stupid deal. I don't even care about that at this point. What I'm worried about is when I get out of this, what am I going to do with all this information that's been weighing heavy on me? Because this is affecting me. I can't live my life with all of these secrets of other people's that I have weighing on me. That's where I'm at.
And so the only thing that you can do is try to get it as linear as possible, as logical as possible, so that when you go to the police and explain what's going on,
I don't
they
look
can
crazy.
They can follow you, because if it's jumping around, it's hard for them
They
to put
write me
things
off as
together.
crazy every time.
Exactly.
And that's what I'm helping her do.
And that's why I'm trying to say this is the best way to do it so that they will listen to you.
And it's not that I can't do that. I can do that. I'm capable of that. It's just that when you're in
You have
it,
a
when
lot
you're
of
in the mix of
information.
that, all that, it's so just.
It's
She's
drowning.
literally
You're drowning in it.
Yeah, she spent the last 3
You
days
don't understand all the
researching
shit that I
ordinances.
know. Like that, I didn't even mean to stumble upon this information. I wouldn't have even
Someone
been
gave it
looking.
to us,
I wouldn't have even been looking into these people or this information had they not victimized me in the way that they
And
did.
that's why I'm trying to help you. So that's my best advice, is to make it as logical and linear as possible, because that's the best way you're going to get your point across. And
So-
if you don't, they're going to write you off. And unfortunately, you can't make them do anything.
I know that's my
And then
problem.
it's
They
going to
don't
weigh
listen
you
to me at
down,
all.
and then it's going to drown you forever, because that's all you're going to focus on.
So at the next court date, the victims can't speak, is what I understand.
Well, so all it is essentially, it's a status. So it's essentially a meeting between me, the DA, and the judge.
Who's the judge?
Let me double check.
And here's my other question.
Yeah.
Can she take the plea bargain at that moment?
Not that day. We would have to schedule it ahead of time.
So if this is one of the dirty judges that's involved in all this fraud shit that I've been uncovering, can I ask for a new judge?
We would have to give them a specific reason.
Conflict of interest because I have dirt on them.
Well,
He's been a judge of hers
need
before.
information. Well, which judge are you talking
Well,
I
about?
why
could give
don't
you
you
the
tell us
process
who the
server
judge is?
papers. I have a list of judges.
Why
in
don't
my
we
little
just
black
write
book.
it down and see if that's the judge you were in front of? Take the judge's name, and then we'll let her know.
Is this the one you're talking about with Furter?
Oh, there's
No,
several.
no,
There's
no.
several judges and
I know you have
attorneys.
some from
No, that's
2012.
Tripp, I think, isn't it?
I'm gonna take
There's
a look.
Tripp. There's Broyles.
Well, just-
there's
just
Brown.
stop.
There's
Hey,
Timothy.
less is more. She's gonna give us the judge, and we'll report back to her who we were in
Trial
front of.
judge is Judge Geyer.
Geyer.
Geyer. Your last judge,
Have I been
What's
in
his
front of
first
Guy?
name or her?
Cortland. His name,
Cortland.
Geyer.
Can you see if
Your
I've
last
been
judge
in front
is
of
Judge
Geyer?
Broyles.
Geyer.
Yeah.
April Hernandez, or
Let me double check. So that's, well, I need a defendant name. Is the only way I can look it up.
For what? Looking up what?
it would be April Hernandez
Is the defendant's name or
through custody stuff. And
What are you asking her about?
if I've been in, Selvage has been in front of these judges because your name's Selvage.
Oh.
I mean, there's some felonies. April Letitia.
Yeah.
She's passed away.
Which the
This is what we're skeptical of.
No, I understand. I mean, the problem is that the judges stay for most of the time, and so it's hard. Looks like Judge Graves.
Yeah, Graves. He's the drug court judge, isn't he?
Not anymore. Judge.
He was. I used to see him all the time.
Bispham.
Bispham? How do you spell that? B-I-S?
Pham. Never heard of her.
Bispham?
Judge Bennett. But that's through April's case. It has no connection to you specifically.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they're related to
Vera, I don't know.
Patricia.
I don't know, but these are from quite a while ago, those cases. So
Yeah, but
they're
so-
probably
Was it-
retired.
There was a guy that used to live up by my mom's house. I did T-ball with his son. I can't remember that judge's name. He might even be retired now.
You know who else is a judge? That Joey dude, the neighbor.
I know Judge Lukanen.
I don't.
He was a
only
Polk
know
County
you.
judge. He's really hard.
Oh, quite a while ago, right?
Yeah, he lives right by my mom's house.
Who's the judge that we already
How
had?
big candy bars at Halloween?
The last one was Judge Zimmerman.
Interesting.
Like George
Okay.
Zimmerman, Men's Warehouse.
What's her first name?
I'd have to look.
You're gonna like the way you look. in those
Natasha.
cuffs.
But her and Judge Gardner are the ones that are down at the annex. So essentially, they only handle cases down there. They're not downtown. So that's why we're not going to be in front of them really anymore. You will be for your show proofs and stuff for your DUI case, but it's essentially her job to warn you if you're walking into dirty water. That's why she did what she did. She was trying to protect you.
So who
I
is
get
your
it.
judge
It's
she's
just-
seeing next time?
It's going to be Judge Geyer.
Geyers.
So essentially, so let me explain because I don't think we got to this part. So Judge Geyer, so essentially it's just a meeting between me, the DA, and the judge to let them know where we are in the case. So either we can request to do a change of plea before then, and we'll just set a brand new date. It's not even going to be the next one. We'll just do a different one, different date and time. At that point in time, the victims will have a chance to say something if they want to. You can say something if you want to, but it's up to you. The biggest problem I feel that you're going to run into is that you don't believe you're guilty. And if the judge thinks that you don't think that you're guilty, they're not going to take your plea. So just be aware
I
of
understand.
that. So just be aware.
I have bigger fish to fry, like I've told you.
I know. So, but at that point in time, sure. But if we keep the current court date where we are, it's just a meeting between us to just let them know, hey, do we need a new court date to change the plea, or are we going to trial, and how much time do we need, essentially? So that's what this next meeting that we have scheduled. So if you decide in the meantime that you would like to just set the change of plea, I can do that by email, and we'll just set it with the court the next date and time, and we'll go in and do the plea
How far out do you think they might push it?
to
Like if she changed her plea tomorrow.
Well,
Or
we
whatever
would just have to
she
set
said.
it. So we could set it for literally any time. So maybe a few days they would need ahead of time because they have to let the victims
I don't want
know.
to do it before my
No,
birthday.
I know. That's
No,
what I
I
was
know.
trying to get
It's
at.
just we would need at least a few days to a week.
So can I ask you a question? Can you look up Gilman and tell me what judges I've had
Yeah.
previously in
So,
the past, please?
I just looked up your.
I don't know.
DUI
And then
case.
also for Saul, where I was a victim for Saul Muniz.
Do you know how to spell that?
Yeah, S-A-U-L.
So is that the first name?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. S-A-U-L and the last name.
M-U-N-I-Z.
Looks like there's an assault case from 2021. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah. I want to know what judges he's had or whatever.
Looks like he was only at, Judge Johnson. He's the one that's leaving. He got voted out.
Why? That's-
Elections. I don't know.
He was nice.
So that's that one. As far as your judges, let me go
Gilman,
back.
yeah.
Wish I could remember that judge's name.
Okay, so I've already told you the ones. So your name's connected even with your maiden name, so they all come up.
Okay, just tell me all the names,
Yeah,
please.
I'm gonna do it real quick.
New page.
for your DUI case, broils.
That's the one Furter said's real mean.
And then for your theft in 2012, looks like white embroils. Coach, maybe there might have been a stand-in.
White and wait, hold on.
Broyles is probably the one.
How does it work, by the way? Like the judges, when they switch them, like
They're attorneys.
So some are attorneys that become judges.
Like case
they get appointed or voted in, and then they tend to, or they could be mediators.
Rotating judges.
And so then there are people who fill in from time to time. That's
because I noticed like it would change
Like
from like
case
trip
sometimes.
to.
Yeah, it just depends. And so, but that's at that lower level in the annex. So there's at least two, and then there's usually a third who fits in. So there's another third guy that comes in from time to time besides the two females. And then sometimes eventually they move up. So Judge Beretta used to be at the annex all the time, and she moved up to the main courthouse when somebody else retired. And so that tends to be what happens. So they just move around.
Where's Casebeer right now?
I
Last time I
don't
was
even
in
know who
court,
that is.
Chris Casebeer, Furter Casebeer and French Thompson. Well, French has passed away, but
I don't know.
I want her to finish my question, please.
Let's see. Looks like white embroils
For the theft.
for the theft. Yeah, for the other theft as well.
There's 2 thefts and an ID theft.
Yeah. Looks like Wilson maybe. I don't know who that is either. There's the ID theft. Let's see. Mike Smith. And
Yeah, that's the most common name.
Philbrook.
Philbrook, like PHILBROOK.
Yeah.
like Ambrook.
Guimond, Guimond. And some of these are just people who fill in. So good, GOODE. You never know.
GOOD. Good.
DE. Broyles again. She's been around a while. Coke.
For what again?
CKOCH.
Wait, KOCH.
Yeah, I mean.
Jeez, I had a lot of attorneys or
Well, it's
judges
just
for that.
each different date. If somebody's filling in at the annex or whatever, it could be a different person. And so just during this time, maybe a lot of people were moving around. I don't know how it worked back then.
That's what I was trying to say with Casebeer. I was
It's a
doing
lot
a
of
case
judges.
and he got done. He's like, I would stand around and talk, but I have to go put a robe on right now. Bye.
And
I was like,
happens,
huh?
yeah. I mean, they come in and out. And
So there
some
was
people don't stick
1,
around
2,
very
3,
long.
4, 5, 6 different judges for my ID theft case.
And it could have been how long it took to get through your ID case. It takes a while.
So then was the first one that you told me, the Smith, was the one that actually was the last,
Oh, let me.
is that
I
the
have to
last,
log
like,
back
my conviction, or
in. No.
I don't know if you told me them in order. Or...
No. I just went kind of.
So how do they pick the judge then for her next? They'll draw it out of
so
a hat?
no,
or-
so this one, so essentially once we get out how it works right now, so I don't know how it worked back then, but how it worked right now is essentially we are at the annex, so usually it toggles between the 2 or 3 judges. And then after that, when we go downtown, we pulled a judge. So that's what we did at the window at the very front. We grabbed a randomized person out of their data bank of judges, and that was the person we picked. And so now, from now on, that is the person that's handling our case.
Who picks the randomized?
The computer, I don't know. It's just random.
It's like a little lottery thing.
Yeah, sometimes I get 4 in a row the same judge. Sometimes I get none the same. So it just
You would,
depends.
I mean, I would think that there would be some sort of a rule that like a judge can't just, for like if someone's in trouble, like can't be their judge every time or something like that. I don't know.
I mean, it happens. There's only so many to go around. So Smith was the first one that handled your arraignments. So it could have just been somebody standing in. I don't know who was at the very end. Maybe that looks like your probation. Let me see if I can find.
And then I'm also
Can I
just
use the
curious.
restroom? I know that guy's still
Yeah.
in there.
No, that's just another attorney. Looks like the person who handled your judgment for that very first case was Good, GOOD.
Okay, and then for the theft in 2012, was that Broyles again?
I know she's been involved in a lot of your cases.
It's interesting.
You've got 2 in 2012, a second degree and a third degree. Sorry, right.
Wait, so is there 3 thefts?
There's the ID theft, and then a theft 2 and a theft 3.
Oh, okay.
It's just different degrees of theft.
You got keys?
Yeah, I do. Thank you. Yeah, we're gonna be heading in a second.
I go pick up a child.
Oh, thank you. All right, have a good
I
night.
think I'd rather sit here and work though, because
You got keys?
Yeah, I do. Thank you. Yeah, we're gonna be heading in a second.
I go pick up a child.
Oh, thank you. All right, have a good
I
night.
think I'd rather sit here and work though, because she's gonna be a bad mom.
That's what happens when they get older. All right, see ya. It looks like Broyles was one of the first judges that you were dealing with on your early 2012
So
case. Wilson and Broyles, and then the judgment was handled by Broyles. And then it looks like when they were doing show causes on your probation, that's when KOCH got involved.
Wait,
along with Broyles.
When they were doing... Hold on.
So when you're violating your probation in 2012,
Uh-huh.
it looks like probably when you picked up the next case, they were violating your probation in the original theft case.
Okay, so...
And so then they were
Broyles,
tracking them together, it looks like.
so Broyles and Wilson were a part of my Theft 2 and Theft 3 because they were kind of close
Running
together.
at the same time, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so essentially you were running a probation violation on your earlier case while dealing with the new one, it looks like.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I think White was also involved in your probation violations, but that was after you had already pled.
After it? Why?
No, maybe that was when you pled to the second one, and he was he was just dealing with the last bit of it, it looks like, so White was the last one.
What's his first name?
Raymond. As I said, a lot of these names I don't know, they're past my time.
I'm just trying to connect all the dots from everything I know, that's all. Just
Yeah,
like,
no, I mean,
trying to make sense of everything.
They're all impartial judges. I mean, we would have to have a very specific reason why they wouldn't be able to hear your case. But Judge Geyer's hasn't been around terribly long. But I mean, I haven't heard anything crazy negative about him.
Well, the reason I'm even interested in asking is because I just found out that some of the things I've been uncovering had to do with a judge that was my judge for my eviction case.
Oh, okay.
That
Gotcha.
I didn't win, and I should have.
Sorry to hear that.
So
Is it eviction for your house or for your business?
for my house.
Oh, okay.
And so we
Yeah.
believe that my eviction was a wrongful eviction and
Gotcha.
that these people are doing some sort of a real estate scam to get people out of their homes, to kind of steal their homes from underneath them.
Like the title theft stuff.
Weird stuff.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
same with April's stuff.
So
There's
there's
lot
just a
weird
bunch of
stuff
foul
around
play
it.
going
Sure.
on.
And I understand. And I'm just, unfortunately, I'm this one little square, and so I can help with this one little square, and that's about it. I don't do privately retained stuff.
So do all attorneys have to go to the same amount of school no matter what kind of attorney they become?
Yeah, so you go to 4 years of undergrad, 3 years of law school, and then you have to pass the bar.
But your undergrad can be anywhere. You can have a bachelor's degree.
Yeah, well, it's a bachelor's in anything.
Right.
So you
And
could go big.
I know. I've already talked about it.
it's just
I'm
very
already,
expensive.
I'm already, about to put it on my resume anyways because of all the freaking research I've been doing.
It's just
Shit.
very expensive. I don't recommend it.
I'm gonna
I have
be
about
private investigator,
just over
attorney.
6 figures in loans. So it's like a mortgage basically.
Yeah.
So it's not always worth it. I probably wouldn't do it again
I don't
if I had to.
I wouldn't be the same person today if I didn't go to
What
college.
do you
So
mean it's
college,
not worth
college really makes
It's
me.
a lot.
You
It's
can't
like
put a
going
price
to
on your
school.
education.
It's
though.
like going back to high school all over again. It's a lot of drama. It's not. It's a lot.
It's
And
like cosmetology school, but
You'd fit right in.
It's so much studying. It's so much reading constantly.
That's
If you're-
all I
if you're
do.
not dedicated, it's not worth your time and money. To be
you
quite
should have seen me
honest.
yesterday.
You're literally reading for like
12 hours.
more than that. I was like, are you
Well, I
okay?
mean, and I read for pleasure, but trust me, this is dense crap. Like, I would never.
No,
write
I believe
that.
you.
It's
I believe
tough.
you.
Like, unless you're going into specific fields, it's not like
Well, I was
specific
in the
types of
drug
law.
and
It's not
alcohol
worth
field,
it.
and that was pretty intense for me, a guy that doesn't know much English. I had to like learn it. And
This is
connect
doing
it.
just
So you weren't
No,
interested in any
honestly.
other kinds of law that you want to like do or pursue?
I mean, probably eventually I'd want to get out, but right now this is pretty good.
Well, I'm
gig.
just curious if like what you you're interested in, like, if you have any knowledge, like, based on other types of law.
Oh, I mean, I learned a bunch of stuff, but I haven't practiced it since I got out of school. I've just been doing misdemeanor criminal stuff. So,
Nothing sparks your interest?
My case law as far as Oregon goes is only in criminal stuff. As far as my interest goes, I don't know, maybe business. I'm not exactly sure contracts.
Well, there you go.
Perhaps.
This would be right
Business
up your
law,
alley.
contract law.
But it's not. It's like writing up drafting documents. It's not investigating people.
What? That's my last question, I guess,
good at
is
that,
what process or program or guidelines do you guys have to abide by for your legal documents?
What do you mean?
Like format and stuff like that.
There's local court rules, so each county has their own court rules on how things are formatted. The state has civil procedure
Like spacing,
rules.
wording,
So
everything.
that's local. So that's to each county. And sometimes even municipal, depending on how low you need to get in the totem pole. So there's municipal court, which is city court, and then you go up from there to the county, and so that's usually where things are handled, is at the county level, and then from there it's state level.
So I know you're not going from scratch and creating all these documents. So then do you guys have like a program that like has like the template kind of for
usually we get
the
it from
spacing
other
and all that?
attorneys who have been doing it forever. So that's usually how I get a lot of
Oh.
my formatting. Is I just ask my friends for an example of what they're doing, or I look it up from what I've seen filed.
Well, if you come across someone that might be interested in
Yeah, no, I mean, I would say
hitting a home run,
the
or
best,
grand slam.
yeah, I just don't do retained stuff. I don't even have an IELTS.
What about pro bono attorneys? Do you know any pro bono attorneys?
It's all through the state. I mean, we all do pro bono hours for.
That's what I'm saying. If you know
but-
anybody in your small talks of friends,
Yeah, no.
like, hey,
And I would, and absolutely. I'll reach out, see if there's anybody. But I don't work with a lot of civil people.
It's a very unique
all
case.
I work with is criminals people, and so.
This is
But
like
I would
criminal.
say, Oregon State Bars, as I said, they have a directory on there. You can contact them and say, "Hey, I need somebody for."
I
pro bono
already
case for
exhausted
this
my
type of
referrals.
case." Oh, okay. Yeah.
they
So
won't
were
even let you in the
you?
building.
I've
Did they
been
get-
evicted.
Or
I-
give you a key.
Did they get back to you as far as the bias hotline? Did they finally get back to you?
I haven't talked.
contacted
I was
them.
gonna
Okay.
call him today, but
I contacted them and just left them a message because that's all I could get. So I just said, if you want to talk, great.
I'm
But as I
back
said,
years.
let's handle this first, then you can go after that later. This is not a time sensitive issue, but our case is.
Right.
So
yeah, I just got
Yeah, just go
police
back.
officers and things saying on tape that I'm basically crazy and mentally ill
I
and all
know.
these things. So
They told me that too when I was down at her salon. Literally, almost got killed in the back alley. I was transferring stuff from one car to another.
Oh, wow.
This guy drove by, and like if I didn't duck into my car, like where the
Jeez.
door was, I would have got
Yeah.
hit. Then I roll around front and park sideways
Mm-hmm.
to the parallel to the sidewalk. I was gonna jump out and tell her what happened. Say, "Let's go. This is dangerous down here right now."
Mm-hmm.
This guy comes rolling around the corner. I said, "Watched him," and I go, "Uh oh, what's going on? This weird brake light all of a sudden." He gets out of the car, walks over. He seemed like he was on like some drug, like hypnotized. And he had a gun in his pocket. I could see it. And then he went to grab for it and pulled it out. I took off. And I shouldn't have left her there, but I didn't know what else to do.
probably that new drug from Colombia where Jared's at.
Oh.
there's a lot of new stuff coming out right now.
Well, there's a drug we saw on the internet that's like, describes what I was just saying. That you can hypnotize people and they don't even know.
It's kind of terrifying.
That is
So-
terrifying.
So I went to the police and I'm in the fishbowl. This is crazy. I'm like sitting here. These guys are rolling by, stopping, backing up, rolling their windows down, pointing at me, and then driving down the alley. One dude went around, and like this is all on police footage stuff, and I'm like calling again and I'm frantic, like I'm scared for my life. The officer shows up like an hour later. He's like, "Do you have a mental health disorder?" And I said, "Excuse me."
Probably just because you're connected to me now. They
No,
say
he
that.
goes, "Are you bipolar?" I said, "No."
He asked me
I
the
said,
same
first
thing.
of all, bipolar isn't what's happening. I said, "I'm terrified of my life," and he's all, "I can't help you."
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. If the more logical and linear you can get it, the easier it is going to be for them to understand.
And I know that, and so that's why it's
And
taking me
that's-
so
I know.
long to
Take
freaking,
your
and why
time.
it's taking such a toll on me
They,
too.
they have a certain amount of time to prosecute people for crimes once it comes to their attention. But you have to
So
bring
they
it to their
could
attention.
re-prosecute her.
No, I mean they can't like double jeopardy. Like so, once they deal with a situation, it's done. That's why I'm saying let's
Okay.
get it done because then
Okay.
they can't come back and be like, "Oh, we forgot.
Okay, good.
We forgot to charge this." They can't do that. So they have to do it all at once, and so that's why I'm saying let's just get it done now, because it's to protect you. Because then you could be exposed to more serious charges. Because as I said, the assault, at least against him, is a Class A misdemeanor. And once they bring those charges, you're not going to be able to talk to him for months. You can't live with them, talk to
I
them,
know.
nothing. And then you'd have to do DV classes on top of the alcohol, on top of the anger
That's kind of
management.
what happened to me. You can see it.
No,
This
I
is
know.
just
So, but
trauma
that's what I'm
coming out.
saying.
I don't
I
have
know.
anger problems. This is just trauma
I
coming
know,
out.
but
Literally.
it's going through the process, and you're already doing your alcohol classes anyway for your DUI, and so this is essentially just adding on the anger management.
I don't understand that, but that's not your problem.
It's the DUI case. It's just what they do.
Because I took an evaluation that said I didn't need to do classes, so I don't understand that.
Oh,
but-
well, I mean, if you've already done an evaluation, then I don't think you can double do it. You'd probably have to redo your evaluation for our case because it's been some time.
That's why I've thrown it in there.
Well, no, it's just because they mentioned that there was alcohol that had been drank. And so, and
There's no
actually,
proof of that.
well, it's also noted in the medical records. So, that's why they're adding it in. So it's just an evaluation, and then you can't obviously drink. You can't be around people who drink, stuff like that. It's just called the drug package. It's just bench probation. So you're not reporting to a probation officer. It's just the same thing you're doing right now, but you'd have to probably have to get a new evaluation.
So I don't know if we told you this, but also these cleaners and their people have been stalking us continuously after and harassing us. They called the police on us the other
I
night.
know you mentioned that the other
And-
day.
Casey mentioned it in court.
And I didn't
They told her
do
to shut
anything wrong. I was in my space. I don't
that's
think
why
that
you
they
get in trouble.
I don't think that they understand how it works or something.
I know. Well, and that's why you didn't get in trouble.
But
right?
why are
No,
they stalking me
I'll
to
tell you
catch
exactly
me
why.
slipping? That's kind of
Whitney,
fucked up.
Whitney,
Because they're
you're
upset.
gonna understand right now. 161 is the whole address down there. They are aware of that because they're running the scam with Jared.
Yeah.
And so just stick to your.
That's why she was saying
Just
that.
stick to the release agreement of times of when
We don't
you're
even
allowed. I
hardly
know.
go there because
I
we're
know.
so scared.
I
Like,
know. So just keep your nose clean. Do what you gotta do. I mean, there is part of the offer is the no contact with Sylvia specifically, but we'll just make sure to note for the court that there is the exception that we had already established and would like that to continue, so that you can still have your business there if that's what you choose.
It's not going to be like that forever, right?
Well, no, just during the probation period.
for 3 years.
No, it's like 18 months, I think.
Oh.
So what about
The rest of my
Disney?
teens.
Terrified of her. She's like a.
Yeah, why can't I have a restraining order against her?
She's
She
rebellious.
harassed us in the parking lot.
You're more than welcome to file one, but then you have to go to court. So if they show up and start arguing against it, you have to be able to bring evidence and testify.
Well, we
Have a
went
video.
after court. We went to the office there and asked them to review the footage and wrote a statement about what happened because she was like being very aggressive. She came out after us. After we walked out,
Yeah.
she comes
She
out
approached
after
my
us
vehicle.
and yeah,
After
and,
sitting in her truck, she gets out.
And I
turns
just, like, put
around,
my head
looks at me,
down.
and is like,
but
and so
they're still
I-
instigating
Yeah,
things.
so you can definitely hire an attorney to do a restraining order, but you can do it on your own. It's
well, they said to
possible.
contact you.
And
I mean, I can't do anything because I don't deal with restraining orders. That's a civil process. That's what I'm saying. So civil
right.
is very broad when you say civil.
well, they said contact you for advice.
Well, at
because you're
least
the attorney on
it's
the
to
case.
prevent you from getting in trouble from having contact with them. So just ignore them. If you see them around, leave. I know it's inconvenient. It's just to protect you from getting in trouble. Because if you do, then it's called contempt, and they can throw you in jail until this is all settled.
So get this. So we're in the salon, or I'm in the salon. I don't even know if you were there at the time, but I have a Bluetooth speaker and I turn it on and it literally says, I have a recording of this. It says, I don't know if you remember what I'm saying in that video, how I'm saying you guys are lying to me, you're lying to me, you're lying to me. These people literally made my speakers say, like, you know how it says the device name? It'll say like connected to Whitney's iPhone, connected to whatever. It literally says connected to you are lying to me. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
And that was the same.
They
night
did it as
that
an
they
innuendo.
told the police.
Oh, gotcha.
It's ridiculous.
That's weird. Yeah, I'm sorry. I wish I could help you. I mean, I just don't have that power. It's just not something that I deal with. But I'm happy to check into things and give you some names if you would like. But unfortunately, that's all I can do because I don't.
Yeah,
do
if you
private
gave us
work.
names, that'd be perfect.
Yeah.
Because
No. So I mean, I just kind of need to kind of sit down and think kind of what type of an attorney you need. So harassment.
fraud.
That's
RICO,
federal, but that has to go through police. That's not
Right.
something you can deal with. So
So-
privately,
Lots of
They
cyber
told us
crime.
yeah. So I mean, it's
They said
just,
report to your local authorities and then
yeah,
us.
exactly.
All kinds
So
of
that's what
fraud.
you can do. So if it's the criminal stuff, you have to go to the police officers, federal officers. That's not something a private attorney can help you with.
Okay, well, what about the whistleblower program? I can submit that. I can submit to the FBI. I can submit to the IC3 or whatever it's called.
Whistleblower is more for like people who are on the inside of the particular company and whistleblowing out.
Well,
But
I
you-
mean,
but you
I
can
kind of
make a- You
am.
can make a report.
I kind of am
to
in a
any
sense if you think
agency.
about it.
She's being a victim of it.
But I'm in the same building as all these people surrounding
I
me
know,
doing
but it's
this.
not- but whistleblowing.
I
you
know
are-
I know what you're
These people
saying.
divulge
No, I
to
know.
me because I just talked to them.
I know.
They're telling me everything.
I
I'm
know.
like,
So I'm trying to help. So that's why I'm trying to figure out what type of attorney you need so I can provide you names. So criminal stuff that has to go through the police. That's not something privately that you can press on.
Then there's the civil rights violations, the retaliation, the
Those-
discrimination, the harassment, the conspiracy, the
So-
organized crime, the racketeering, money laundering.
That's all criminal stuff. So the
So-
first sounds like constitutional law, but that more deals with employers and maybe your landlord-tenant stuff. So you might need.
So
What's the
even in
difference between
April,
coercion and
there was
extortion?
if I find out there's a, what is it? Inheritance or life insurance, and her mother frauded that,
That
and
would
they're
be
involved.
fraud, but that has to be done through the court. So
Oh,
if you
criminal?
have evidence, you bring it to the cops and say, "Hey, I believe this is evidence as far as fraud goes in regards to this inheritance
Yeah.
thing." That's all you can do, and then they pass it along.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we can't make the DAs
Yeah.
prosecute anything
Yeah.
or look into anything. It's a very crappy system.
Yeah, Avery was shaken. after
What's the
he
difference
saw
between
it.
coercion and extortion?
Well, extortion is usually for money.
Extort,
Coercion
yeah.
could be based on like threats, or it could be emotional.
It could be monetary.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends. I mean, I don't know
It
because
could
I
be
don't deal with
because
that type of
you're
crime.
like in the Scooby Doo gang, and they don't want you being there. You know, coerce you.
Coercion, it could be like, I'm gonna kill somebody else if you don't help me.
That's like blackmail.
Blackmail is more like, I've got this on you, and if you don't do what I'm telling you, I'll release it. That's blackmail. So it's very slightly different.
What is it when someone suggests something? Is that coercion?
If
Just
they
make a
keep
suggestion, you don't have to do it.
no, but they keep harassing that
Pushing
suggestion.
that suggestion. and
Yeah.
saying, well, you don't have to do what we're
They
saying.
you don't have to do this, but if you want to, but you don't have to. But if you want to,
Bad
Convincing?
salesmanship.
Convention?
like
Yeah.
unethical.
I know. So, I mean, that's all
Like,
unfortunately, yeah. I mean, unless they're making you do it.
Kinds of weird shit, you know. I don't think he really does. I think he's like an IT guy for the state. And when he was over here that one day, he was just trying
he
to
seems like it.
hack our shit. And then he just disappeared all of a sudden. That's the last time we heard of him. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But
Deal with Jen, dude. What the fuck? She.
Please say spot.
How are you?
Are you there?
Yeah.
or am I there?
A friend
What's
of
that
mine,
mean?
Denise,
Are you there?
does like the tattoo makeup and all that stuff.
And all that stuff.
And she's looking to lease a spot. She's got her own clientele and everything.
To lease
Oh,
the spot.
nice.
Sublease. There you go,
I
Jared.
think she
Huh?
said she was 32 or something like that.
So you know how old she is?
So she's in your age ring and everything. She's Mexican.
She's
Okay.
Mexican. What the fuck?
But, you know, I don't know if you're interested.